Okay, so this is a small video and I'm just gonna show you what all stuff do you need. First, the big picture. Yes, this is all that it takes to go for a short trek. Now you don't really need to start worrying about all this straight away. First things first, you need a really warm jacket. I have something over here that's very warm. It's your outer shell. I folded it in a plastic bag like this and then compressed it with rope. That's how you do it. So you'll be able to fit more stuff in your bag. So this is basically the warmest jacket that I have. You really can't see much of it because it's folded, but it's there in it, right? So get something like this. Then the other thing that you need to have is in a soft jacket. You could maybe use a sweatshirt or you could use something like this is fleece, right? So something like that. Then below this you need something like a t-shirt of this sort, which is ultra dry. Nike ultra dry would do, oh sorry, a dry fit would do. And a inner layer, any Rupa thermal innerwear will do. I mean, I have this, you could use anything, you may have something of your own. So these are your uppers. Now for the lowers, you need first of all a pair of woolen socks like these, very important. A pair of backup socks like these. You being a footballer, I'm sure you will have something of this sort, right? Like, yeah. So I use these, and then of course you can use your sport shocks and all, which you use for trekking. These are basically just for your campsite and your tent. They're not for walking. For walking, just get your sport shocks. I would suggest these two plus one pair plus one more extra pair. But remember, you need to keep yourself keep the weight light. You don't want to carry extra weight with you. Apart from these, I have a small beanie, a cap, uh, my gloves. Doesn't matter if you don't have gloves like these, any gloves would do. I mean, I have the hardcore ones, so I can do the dirty work. A small towel, like you can see my towel over here. It's pretty small and light, and it dries pretty quick. So yeah, something like this would do. You don't really need a big towel. Nobody's taking showers up there, bro. Also, the most important thing here is a sleeping bag. You need this, and doesn't matter what kind you have, but remember, get this. And if you still think that you're gonna feel cold in your sleeping bag, get some shawl of this kind. Like, this is a pashmina shawl that I use because my sleeping bag isn't really warm unlike others. So I sometimes wrap this around my knees to keep myself warm, but I don't think it's gonna get that cold, so doesn't really matter. And I may be able to give it to you in case I carry this and I don't need it, so you could use that. This here is our tent. This is where we're gonna live. So basically, it's all folded up and all. Don't need to worry about it. I'll carry it in my bag. And this is as far as it goes about your clothes. Yes, you have a muffler here, which is also important. Get that. And yes, your lower inners. Like, remember, this was the upper innerwear, like your Rupa thermal wear. This is actually the real Rupa inner lowers, right? So I use these. Basically, they're not for walking or trekking. I would say they're just not for daytime use. They're just to be worn when you sleep in the tent, because you can get really cold by then. This is my medical bag. Uh, I have some basic medical supplies here. You can get your own medication if you're taking any sort. Apart from the green medication, that's it. Toiletries bag. I mean, go as basic as you can. I would just suggest you carry a toothbrush. I don't carry soap because it takes a lot of weight. So what I do is that I take some liquid Dettol soap and I put it in a bottle like this. Liquid soap is much easier to use while trekking because you don't need to worry about storing your wet, hard soap. You can just so close the bottle and use it. A small deodorant. Uh, Man, you can spare the deodorant and the other stuff because it just adds to the weight. This was when I was with the company, so I had to smell fresh all the time. I think I'm not gonna carry this. Stay dirty, stay happy. And this is the steel bowl to clean utensils. You don't need to carry all this. Just for your information. Yeah. Now I need to come back to some other basic stuff which you need. You need a torch, man. A really good torch. I mean, I don't really want you to go and spend a lot of money on something, but get something that is light and would get the work done for you. What you'll be able to use for some time, right? Like I have this which I use, and then I went and bought this small 200 rupee torch. Like you turn it around and it's a backup torch, so works for me. Carabiners you don't need to worry about. uh, get some cord like this. If you can get any sutli or something to work for you, yeah. I mean, this can be really important at times. You know, you need to wrap some of your stuff. It is done fit. You need to do something with it. I mean, just it would always be good to have something of this sort. And yes, yeah. So basically, I have covered everything in this. I covered the tent. I covered your innerwear, your fleece wear, the big jacket that you need to have, your socks, hat, gloves, your t-shirt. This basically is the t-shirt that you're gonna wear all the time, even while you're trekking. And it's very important that it is made of a material that dries quickly, because you're gonna perspire while you hike, and it's gonna make you feel cold. Unless, I mean, if whatever you're wearing doesn't ward off moisture very easily, because if you're wearing something like cotton deep down inside, it's gonna get wet, then it's gonna get cold, so it becomes quite miserable. So get something like this. You're a sports guy, get some Nike Ride Fit and all, and you'll be sorted. And yes, your innerwear, medic bag, and muffler. So some of the basic stuff, right? There's one important thing that I have not included in this is your outer rain jackets. I will give you another video, small one on that. All right, now nothing to worry about at the moment. So forget the food for the moment. All right, I want you to get some kind of a fork or a spoon like this. I mean, basically something that is light and it doesn't weigh too much. Don't get something that's too flimsy. I need something that is strong but again light. This would do. You can buy these at Decathlon if you happen to go there. Another important thing is your water bottle. I would recommend that you have at least one of these. At least. I mean, I really do not know what the scenario about water on this trek. It may so happen that we do not have any water source and we might just have to carry water, or even worse, we have to melt snow. So it's always good to have an extra vessel to carry your water, even if you're just walking along the river. So basically have at least something like this. It should be wide mouth. I mean, I should have a wide mouth so it's easy to fill. Should be strong, should hold water, and it should be light. So I have two of these. I think between the two of us, we should be able to manage. I also have a reservoir like this, so this fills up and can hold like what 3 liters of water, so we can do with that as well. Cooking ware I have, you don't really need to worry about it. What I would want you to do is get some kind of a plate. I mean, we can go about this on the phone. Like, I have this pot, so this is good for making all kinds of beverages like coffee and soup, and we can cook rice in it, and we can make chicken in it, and do everything. And this pan is good for making toasts and all that kind of stuff. But what we don't have is a third plate. Like, I can eat from this, but what are you going to eat from? So I suggest you get something from which you can eat, something which is lightweight, and it's quite practical. You know, something that is very practical. It's lightweight, it's very practical, and it does multiple things. You're able to drink from it, and maybe you're able to eat from it also. You see what how this is made. So again, this has been bought from Decathlon. You can get this if you cannot find anything else. I think this was for about $1,000. So yeah, and pretty good. I've really tested it quite intensively for some time. And this is it. A walking stick. Well, if you don't have one, don't go buying one. I mean, I'll give you my stick at Hairy Stretches when if you in case you need it. uh, I don't think this trek is going to be technical enough for us to be using this at all. I mean, our dad's climbed Siachen without all this. Tripod, I'm not very sure whether I'll be carrying it or not. Depends on the weight. See, you have to carry all this food. This is a cooking system, and I think you will see its wonders on the trek. Let me just leave it at that. And a good pair of shoes, man. Like, I have these. Get something like this. I'm sure whatever you have is going to do. It's going to do everything for you. But remember, don't get flimsy footwear. Get good footwear. And just these. I don't want you to carry chappals and all. I mean, this is going to be enough. And your rucksack. So this will be the thing in which you have to pack all of this into. And this here, a diving whistle found from some shallow dive site of Kotav. Important thing to carry here again is a rain pack. You see, I have that blue thing. It's to cover my rucksack. What happens is that when it rains, I'm able to cover the rucksack. So nothing. It is basically to protect the rucksack from getting wet and not the inner contents. Because see, if your rucksack gets wet, it becomes heavier. It becomes very difficult for you to carry it. But to protect the inner stuff, what I want you to do is wrap everything in polythene. Like you see, I have wrapped my main jacket in polythene, because even if my rucksack gets wet, this doesn't get wet. And same is for the other things. I'm going to take a big sheet of polythene from there. I'm going to put everything in it and then put it in my rucksack. So that's also going to work. Now, dude, just get basically these clothes and all these things done and try and fit everything nicely and properly into your rucksack, and you are sorted. You don't need anything else, man. I have the whole cookware and the whole kitchenware and everything. I have a lot of technical stuff. Get a torch. The torch is very important. And yeah, get your music player, get your camera if you can carry it. Yeah, I can, maybe you can tell me I can carry my tripod and you can carry your camera. I may not be carrying my camera. And then that is it. Now coming to the point about food. See, we need 0.5 kilos each per day. So between the two of us, we need 1 kilo of food per day. And basically with the kind of cooking ware that I have, you can cook anything. So like what I have here are like some choco muffins. We can use these chocolates, very important, cheap chocolates. You don't need to get expensive chocolates, they don't really work. So basically this $5 nature apple thing is perfect in the mountains. You're really gonna love it. The simplest Milky Bar is gonna work. Extra batteries. Now these are for me. These are basically for my torch. I'm going to be carrying this whole pack, so in case you don't have extra battery, it doesn't matter. You can use some from here. Coffee. Now I don't know whether you're a coffee guy or a tea guy, because all I'm carrying is coffee. I can carry tea. Actually, I've always carried both. I've always been like a hardcore tea guy and a coffee guy, but somehow I thought maybe let's just go American this time. So I got coffee and I'm skipping tea. Soup. Soup is going to be a big part of our meals. I mean, I want to have soup at least 2 days, for 2 days, you know. And I got chicken soup and chicken tomato soup. So let me know about specific preferences so I can change this. But like I said, tomato and chicken and cream. Then I have some aloo mashed potatoes. I've never actually tried this before, but we can probably use this in something. Okay, water supplements. I'm carrying iced tea and I am carrying Tang. Now these 3 packets should be enough for us. I mean, we don't want to be coming back fatter than we were before we went for the tech, right? Then I have some upma. Upma will also be a good meal one day. You know, we can maybe have it for lunch or maybe breakfast. So I don't know whether you like upma or not, but it's easy to make up there, and with some chilies and onions, it's going to be really good. And I have some chicken. So I'm gonna get more packs of these. I actually tried this today. It's pretty good. You can have it with rice and some vegetables and all. This is going to be really good. So I'm carrying this. Uh, Another option is spaghetti. I'm a big fan of spaghetti in the mountains. It just really kicks dish. I mean, it kicks ass, man. You have spaghetti and you can go climb anything the next day. So half a kilo of this is gonna do it for us. I'm gonna get some homemade tomato sauce, so we can combine spaghetti with that. You can let me know if you do not like spaghetti, so I'll get more of this Indian stuff over here. Like, I personally am a spaghetti fan, so I'm getting this. Ramen and Maggi, I never usually take on my legs. I actually hate Maggi. I had too much of Maggi when I was a kid, so I never usually take it. But just for good luck, one pack. Some biscuits. Now, basically, these are. I got this thinking only about myself. I never catered for you. So I'll probably, if you can get more packs from the CSD or from home, that'll be great. So basically, what I have here is 2 packs of biscuits, 1 pack of another best quality CSD biscuit, best Unibic, best, and then I have some cake. So this is pretty much it. All this was, and yeah, some of the things that are missing over here are like sugar, salt, uh, bread. We may be able to pick up on our way up at the last village. Eggs we can also figure out over there, but I think after having found that kick-ass packet of chicken, I really don't need to take any more eggs. But yeah, you need to get some more food. I mean, not a lot, but get some goodies, man. If you can get some dry fruit from home, that'll be kick-ass. Or maybe if you could get some chocolates and all, because I have the basics over here, but this is not going to be enough for 2 people for 3 days. So we need slightly little more stuff. But remember, all this weight has to be split between all of us. I mean, I'm going to carry all my stuff. You don't need to worry about that. But food needs to be split between both of us. So keep that in mind. There are some extra goodies and stuff down there. Yes, yes, yes. But I'm gonna just show you this for a while and let's see what you have to put on the table. I mean, I hope you put something good. Yeah. Anyway, this video has been too long. Yeah. So let me know how this video was. I've never really made something like this before.